technician? Do you know what it takes to be a real technician? Do you know how a real technician acts and what a real technician has that creates a separation between him and everybody else that thinks they're a real technician? Well, today on Tips for Technicians, I'm Tad, and I'm going to give you those pieces of advice that are going to help take you to the next level in being a technician. So let's get started. Tip number one here is to get your tools in a bag and carry that bag with you up to the homeowner's door or the customer's door so that you can show them that you have what's necessary to be able to do the job. You have what's necessary to be able to diagnose that unit. Do not walk up to the door with one tool in your hand. Get your bag with all your tools, your multimeter, and then go up to the door. The customer is going to ask you questions, so be ready. But you need to already be preparing yourself, and you need to know what to ask. What are you there for? You're there to fix the unit. So what do you need to know? You need to know where the unit's located. You need to ask them, hey, what type of equipment do you have? How old is the equipment? How long have you had the equipment? Who put the equipment in? You don't necessarily have to ask who installed it, but you need to make sure you're asking where it's at. And do they have any concerns? What's their concerns other than the fact the unit's broken? Do they have any concerns? Do they think it's something? Usually a homeowner is going to give you a good idea of what's going on. Some homeowners have punched their thermostat on the wall and you don't know that. They might tell you if you ask them. They might have kicked the outdoor unit and then rattled something loose, but you don't know it and you're checking inside for something outside. So do not go to your homeowner and just ask for the equipment, where it's at, and that's it. Talk to them, because that's what's going to matter anyways in you building that relationship with the customer. So get your tools, get them in the bag, show the customer you're there to work on the unit, ask questions, how old it is. If they don't know, tell them, would you like to know? Because I can tell you by looking at the model and serial numbers. Let's go to the unit, all right? You know, when you get there, just say, hey, can you show me around to your thermostat? Let's make sure it's set on heating. Definitely ask about the thermostat, the equipment, and the filter, okay? Those are three things, of course, you need to ask, and those are questions. So after you have asked the questions and you're going towards the unit, when you figure out what's wrong with it, you go to the homeowner. I always go to the homeowner because it makes a difference. They're much happier to know that you're wanting them to be aware of what's wrong with the unit. Then when you figure out that it needs a part, tell them it needs a part. Tell them you're going to figure out the price and the availability of that part. And then they're going to be even happier. Tell them a time too. They love to know times. People want times. They want to be aware of what's going on and they want to know how long it's going to take. That's one of, because everybody has a time-bound goal. Everybody has time considered into their day and how many things they have to do. So if you're giving them time, you're being respectful, okay? That's what's going to be most respectful, and it's going to make them like you too. You see, when I go to a homeowner's house, I'm on top of it. Hey, this is what's wrong. This is what we're going to do. This is what's going to happen. And that's why people like me and go into their house. I've made lots of mistakes, and there's probably customers that don't like me, but hey, I'm trying to do a good job every single day, and that's all that matters. If you're in the shoes that I was in 10 years ago and starting out service, just try to do your best, try to be polite, and know that everybody is living in the same situation you are. So have an open mind to what can happen in people's life. You don't know what's wrong with somebody. And you know what? When your heat and cooling goes out, people are really worried about it. They're worried about their heating and cooling because it's something that affects them. It affects their house. It affects their plumbing and everything that they have inside their home. So they might be worried that something's going to be ruined because it's super hot outside and they can produce mold, or it's super cold outside and, you know, their walls are cracking or something. So think about that. It really is a major deal when your heating and air goes out, especially if you're elderly and it's gone out for a long time. They are looking forward to you to get to the home. So they're looking forward to you. And when you get there, they want some attention. You better give them attention, and then you better give the unit some attention. Be straightforward and call them. When you get that part, when you get it ordered, call them, okay? Hey, I talked to the distributor. The distributor is going to have the part this day. As soon as it comes in, I'll let you know, and then I'm going to head your way. I'll call you before I come out. Would you like me to call you before I come back out? These are a few things that I do on a daily basis, and especially paperwork too, even though sometimes I don't like doing paperwork, and most people don't like doing paperwork. But paperwork is one of those things that you've got to master if you want to be a master technician. And that is the truth. Tools, questions, respecting their time, leading. You got to be in control. If you're not in control, they're in control. Who's going to be in control? You're the technician, right? You're supposed to be in control of fixing the problem, getting the part, contacting the homeowner. Communication is one of the key aspects of being a real technician. Communication. Because you've got to communicate with your secretaries, the dispatch. You got to communicate with your other technicians, if you have any, on your team to make them aware of what kind of problems you've got, because they may go to those homeowners after you go to them as a callback. And by the way, you're going to have a lot of callbacks, especially if you're not really thorough. That's one of those things that people think they're the best, but when they don't check everything, they end up looking like a fool because they get callbacks. So, and I've had lots of callbacks. There's nothing wrong with getting callbacks. Sometimes you're going to have one problem, you fix it, then you have another. I've been out to houses and cleaned units and then have an outdoor fan motor go out or have a compressor go out. So you can clean a unit if it's severely dirty and you change the running amps on the motor enough, it'll burn the motor up. So I've had that happen before. They blame me for the motor burning up when the condenser coil was thick, full of dust, and they couldn't move in the air. So it wasn't rejecting any heat. The heat was built up so much. You changed the pressure, you changed the running amp draw, you changed a few factors, and then the motor burns up. So be smart. Make sure that you communicate and act like you know what you're doing. Even if you don't know what you're doing, act like you know what you're doing. Have some sense. Guys, this is how to be a real technician. Just a few pieces of advice. If you have any questions, comment below. I definitely want to help you guys, and I feel better helping you than I do helping myself. So this is Tad with Tips for Technicians, reminding you, I'll keep you cool if you let me.